Current Electrifying News episode 12. So, as you can see, there's no cruise ship cabin, there's no hotel room behind me. That means I'm back home. Oh well, let's get on with the news items. So, the first one's a fairly big one. Giga Berlin, it's had its unfair share of problems. Now, Germans have got bureaucracy down pat, so getting Giga Berlin up and running was never going to be an easy task. Now it's running, the protesters have camped in the trees around the factory. Yeah, but these trees were actually planted for harvesting. They're not old growth forests or anything like that. And all the forestation around there, Tesla are trying to improve it. Now, some group, I believe they're called Volcano, you blew up a power pylon. Not only does it supply grid power to the Giga factory in Berlin or Grünheide, but also to many other places around. So a lot of people were without power. Idiots. Now, it's going to be out for about 2 weeks in total. So, it's affected a lot of people, not just Tesla. Now, the interesting thing here, if you read this post on X, we can see that Giga Berlin has created a large number of benefits for the local community, and this sort of act of terrorism just cannot be tolerated. Tesla has created a large number of jobs. Now, many of these people were unemployed, and about 700 were long-term unemployed. So that's got to be a good thing. The water they were going on about. Well, each car, whether it's made by VW, Mercedes, Audi or any of these other ones around, they use a certain amount of water per car. Now, Tesla's Giga Berlin uses 33% less than the average car manufacturer in Germany, and they recycle up to 100%. Oh well. They've also planted a lot more trees than I believe they've felled, and they're planning on a lot more. They've got 8 megawatts of solar panels on the roof. They put in a train line that employees can use free of charge, I believe. And despite all this, the negative media reports abound in mainstream media. What do you expect from those idiots? It's another reason I don't actually watch any of their crap. Now, there's another country. I'm talking about Australia here. Tesla. They quit the car lobby group, which was submitting reports to our government over the new emission standards. Now, Tesla has said that the group was making false and misleading claims about vehicle efficiency standards. Well, duh, of course they would. They want to protect their own industry and try to keep the status quo. Polestar has also joined Tesla in quitting this Federal Chamber of Automotive Industries over the same problem, and even VW is threatening to do the same. Tesla have also referred claims made by this FCAI group to Australia's competition watchdog, and they've asked it to consider whether the group deliberately sought to deceive customers. Yeah, I can answer that question. It's easy. Now, the FCAI, have made claims that these new standards will increase the price of cars by a significant amount and will see the withdrawal of some brands. Well, we don't want those brands anyway because they're probably the high polluters. The whole idea of these standards is to decrease pollution. So there are only 2 developed countries in the world that don't have these standards. Australia's one of them. Russia's the other one. So hopefully we'll get these standards passed, and that will leave just Russia. And this fear-mongering is not only confined to the FCAI, but also it's being done by our federal opposition, who are also stating complete and utter nonsense. They're a bunch of nongheads, in my opinion. The new Lotus Emea, or however they want it pronounced, is now available for order in the United Kingdom at a starting price of £94,950. which at today's exchange rate is about 184,000 Australian dollars. And of course, if the price here would be a lot more because we've got import duties, shipping costs, and our wonderful luxury car tax and so on. So it's going to come in 3 versions, all of which will have a 102 kilowatt hour battery, and the fastest one will do 0 to 100 or 62 miles an hour, that sprint in 2.78 seconds. But that one's going to cost about £130,000 or well over 250,000 Australian dollars. I think I'll get one for me and one for the wife. Not. At the Inter Battery Fair in Seoul, South Korea, a Korean battery manufacturer, SK On, showed its improved versions of its SF battery. That SF stands for super fast. Now, they first launched this back in 2021, and these new improved cells are their Winter Pro LFP battery, specifically designed to do better in cold weather. Now, as you know, all of these lithium-ion batteries don't fare quite as well in cold weather. You don't get quite as far on your battery. But with these new Winter Pro LFP batteries, it's not as bad. And it's also got a remarkable charging time of 18 minutes from 10 to 80%. That's pretty reasonable. And whilst I'm on batteries, a US battery company, Ion Storage Systems, has reported progress with its lithium metal solid state batteries. They've now achieved 125 cycles with only a 5% degradation. They say that this means that a potential of more than 1,000 cycles is possible in the future. Yeah, the current LFP batteries will do at least 3,000 cycles, and the NCM, etc. batteries, the ternary ones, will do 2,000 to 2,500 cycles. So they've got a long way to go. But look, it sounds positive, so let's wait and see how it all goes. Nissan, or Nissan as you say in America, they want to offer level 4 autonomous driving in Japan from 2027. I doubt they're going to do it, but it's going to be done on highly mapped areas. And just look at the roof of this Leaf. I mean, come on. Let's hope they can miniaturise that. Now, they've been testing these self-driving car capabilities not only in Japan, but also in London and other areas with support from the UK government. Let's do another wait and see how this goes, but I expect it's going to have very limited areas in which it can operate, and even if it comes across something like roadworks there in its mapped areas, it's going to cause problems. Now, I'm thinking Waymo in California. And finally, let's take a look at the new Rivians unveiled yesterday, my time. That's the R2, the R3, and the R3X. Now, the R2 won't be delivered until about the first half of next year, and the latter M3, R3 and R3X the year or two after that. But the R2 looks really interesting, and it's going to have some interesting specifications. All models will have around 300 miles or 480 plus kilometres of range, which isn't too bad. It's only slightly smaller than the Model Y, and it's going to have some similar pricing to the long range and the performance Model Ys. Now, despite all the financial troubles that Rivian are having, I do hope that they make it through and get these cars to market, as I think they look pretty great. Now, in America, they are using the NACS, or the Tesla charging system, or the J3400. Yeah, but can someone please let RJ Scaringe know that they really need to put it on the front on that side, or on the rear on the other side, because if they're going to be using Tesla superchargers, they're designed for it to be on the left side back or right side front as you're sitting in the driver's seat. Thanks very much for watching. I must admit, I am getting a little bit peed off by some of these stories, and I've got another one coming up very soon that really pees me off. I've got to keep rewriting the script because it's got too many expletives in it. Yeah. Now, basically, the Giga Berlin story and the Australian FCAI one, and all their rubbishy conspiracy theories. No wonder I've got the name Grumpy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, thanks. And while you're at it, can you please do me the big favour and click the like and subscribe buttons below? It costs you nothing, but it does help the channel. And as my wife says, I need all the help I can get. Now, also in the description below, there are some links that I hope you'll find useful. And I'll see you all very soon.